Hello planner people. Today I am creating my quilty progress trackers in my 2023 bullet journal. We're going to create log pages for every quilt that I have in progress and am planning. Let's get started with a few tools that I recommend. Rather than buy a planner, I like to create my own using the bullet journal method. So this is a dot grid notebook. There's lots of them available. I like the moleskin. You're also going to need your favorite pen. This is a Frixon, and I will show you why I choose these in just a moment. And you'll also need some highlighters. Again, there's lots available. These are the Frixon highlighters as well. Choose any combination of colors that you like best. I like the Frixon pens and highlighters for one simple reason. I'm not perfect, and I like to be able to erase my pen. That's right, these pens are erasable. Look at that! No longer do we have to be afraid about making a mistake in our planner. And yes, the Frixon highlighters are erasable too. Lastly, we need some stencils. I don't know about you, but I can't draw a straight line, so I depend on a good package of stencils in my bullet journal. There's lots of options. I like these because they have this great grid stencil, and that's what we're going to use for this project. Okay, we've got our dot grid journal open to a fresh page, and I'm going to start with the stencil that gives us nice straight lines and our first check boxes. So take your time figuring out how you want your layout to work and lining up this stencil, but don't overthink it. Remember, we're using an erasable pen here, so if we're not happy with our first attempt, you can always start over. Now, just like you did in childhood, use your pen to fill in all of the gaps on this stencil. I'm going to speed up this video a little bit so you don't have to watch me do this in real time. Okay, we have our full page of lines and our grid. I'm going to use each one of these columns for a milestone in the quilting process. Absolutely customize these to what makes sense to you. I use fabric for when I have purchased all the fabric I need for a project, cut for when all the pieces are cut out, piece for when the top is pieced, based, quilt, and bind. Those are self-explanatory. And my final column is for photos so that I remember to document each of my makes during the year. Now we get to the fun part. On each line, write in a quilt that's in progress or that you want to make this year. This year I decided to go in chronological order, starting with my oldest whips. Maybe that'll help me get these done. Add as much descriptive detail to these pages as is helpful to you. Sometimes I add in the size or the fabric collection that I'm using to jog my memory on which specific project this line is referring to. The last step is coloring in our progress. Use a highlighter to fill in the grid for each step that you've completed. I typically use one color for each column, but again, customize this to the way that it makes you happy and motivates you to keep making progress on these projects. Remember, these highlighters are erasable, so if you make a mistake, just erase it and do it again. Whatever planning and tracking method you use this year, I hope your 2023 quilting is filled with joy and less stress. Thanks for joining me for this video. See you again soon.